Hi everyone, this is Richard, CEO of altFINS. In this video, I will demonstrate how to find some channel down pattern breakouts and how to trade them. I'll also cover specifically AAVE as well as render token, RNDR. So let's dig in. altFINS has a number of different tools that you can use to find some trading ideas. Obviously, some of them popular ones are chart pattern recognition, which our engine finds some interesting chart pattern breakouts as well as emerging patterns, and then also technical analyses, which are basically our own research or TA team ideas that we update on a regular basis. Basically, we do technical analysis of the top 63 coins. Both of these areas are great places to find some chart pattern trades if you like to trade chart patterns. So let's go ahead and start with the automated chart patterns. Within this section, depending on what you like to trade, but more recently, we've seen a lot of channel down and falling wedge patterns. And both of these patterns are trend reversal patterns. What that means is that the price, let's just take the first one as an example. The price is in a downtrend, consolidating, bouncing between these two more or less parallel lines, the resistance trend line and the support trend line. And clearly the bears are in charge. The price is making lower highs and lower lows, which is also a sign for downtrend. Now you can trade the emerging pattern like this one between the trend lines. So the price hits the resistance trend line, then it's likely to go lower to the support trend line and so on. Or you can wait for a breakout. And typically the breakouts happen across or above the resistance trend line, and that may indicate that the buyers have finally begun to step up, the selling has dried up, and that demand is outpacing supply for the token, and the buyers are in charge, and that usually is followed by some rapid price movements. And so let's see if we can find some breakouts. So this is channel down, result type, breakouts. None available right now, but you can keep checking back and then wait for those breakouts here. Now, the other place you can find breakouts, channel down breakouts, or let's actually first cover also falling wedge patterns right here. Similar thing, more or less. It's also a trend reversal pattern. Right here we have immutable X. So what that means is, again, is the price is basically in a downtrend, and then when it breaks out, it could signal a bullish trend reversal, basically a beginning of an uptrend. And the channel down patterns have typically higher success rate than falling wedge patterns, even though I really personally like falling wedge patterns. But the channel down patterns typically have about a 73% success rate, and falling wedge patterns about 65% success rate based on our historical data. You can find some of that actually in the knowledge base, the statistics on the historical performance of chart patterns. So, but in this case, immutable X is a clear breakout of that pattern. And how far should theoretically the price go? It typically depends on how wide is the falling wedge, the base of the falling wedge. This one is very wide. And that's typically the target of that breakout, is the width of the base of the falling wedge pattern. Upon the breakout is expected, the price is expected to go about that width. So we've got a potential 57% upside here. So that's a pretty significant upside potential. We can also filter here breakout just for the breakouts. And there's several breakouts here, in fact, that you can see on the following wedge patterns. Another place that you can find where you can find patterns and pattern breakouts is our own manual work, where our analysts do some technical analyses. It's also a great learning tool. I think it's also a great beginner's starting point, those who are looking to learn technical analysis, because here in our description of the technical analysis, you will basically get the basics, and therefore you can learn from the examples that you see right here. For example, AAVE, we have our analyses focus on 5 specific concepts. Four specific concepts. That's what pattern is, if there is one. What's the trend? Is this an asset that's in an uptrend, downtrend, or mixed, or neutral? What momentum? What is the momentum right now? And where is the support and resistance? That's probably even the most important part. So if we blow up this chart of AAVE specifically, we can see that recently, call it 2 weeks ago or so, there was a bullish breakout from the channel down pattern, right? And that breakout was retested here and then played out really like textbook play out of the channel down breakout. It had risen about the width of that channel down, right? And now it has reached a resistance level. So this is a very successful channel down breakout. You know, it's risen 10, 15%. Now it's reached a very stiff resistance area that consists of both our horizontal resistance area of $65, more or less, and also the 200-day moving average in purple, which also acts as a resistance area when the price is approaching it from below. So when those two things line up, the 200-day moving average and a horizontal resistance area, that creates a stiff resistance. So, you know, at this point, what we mentioned in the trade setup here is that we wait. At this point, we were bullish on it when the breakout occurred, and that played out well. But now at this point, at the resistance zone, a robust, stiff resistance zone, we're on the sidelines. We're basically neutral, waiting to see if the buyers can push the price above this resistance, which would then open up potential upside all the way to 80. Or will it get rejected here, which is most likely outcome near term, that it does get rejected here, and then it pulls back and tries again. So really, until it does break above this level, I'm not going to be involved here. But this is a successful example of a successful channel down breakout. And so here you can also filter the pattern type, call it channel down, for example, and look at others. Other channel types are here available as well, or you can simply filter by near-term outlook. If you don't care what pattern is involved here, you just want to see all the bullish trade setups, you know, you can do that here as well. But I wouldn't ignore the neutral trade setups, especially if they're like some interesting patterns, because the neutral ones are neutral until a breakout happens. So I would leverage the platform to set up some alerts, price alerts. For example, approaching resistance, Binance Coin. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so this one's clearly in a downtrend. It's trying to push above the $220. It's been rejected a couple of times, but when it does, it could signal potential trend reversal. So I'm going to set up a quick price alert. Price alert that says, alert me when the last price is above $220. Okay, it's that easy. So now I'm going to be alerted when the price crosses above the 220, and I can make a decision whether that's an indication of potential trend reversal. So even the neutral rated situations or trade setups are worthwhile paying attention to, and maybe setting up your alerts so that you stay on top of it. Last coin I wanted to take a look at was RNDR, and let's go ahead and find it in the crypto screener. So I wanted to also show you that you can get to the technical analyses also from the crypto screener right here, right? And under the technical analysis tab here. So there's a couple of ways to get to the technical analyses. And here, the situation is that obviously this asset is in sort of a mixed trend. It's an uptrend in the short term, neutral, medium, and down on the long term. So it's a really mixed picture, but it could be a beginning of a trend reversal, which is why we see that the short term trend is already up and medium is neutral, right? So this could be an interesting situation, but what needs to happen to confirm that uptrend? To me, the price needs to cross above the 200-day moving average especially. And since it's close to that horizontal resistance of $1.70, this becomes a very stiff resistance area. And notice this is an area where it acted as a support in the past, and once the support is broken, it becomes resistance. That's a concept known as polarity. And so now this area that acted as support in the past has become resistance, and it also lines up with the 200-day moving average. So this is a very critical area that the price needs to conquer and break above. And it may not happen on this approach. It most likely it's going to get rejected here and come back. But when it does break above these levels, that will be to me signal that demand from buyers has now absorbed all the supply from the sellers, and this price is likely to go higher and attack the next resistance zone of 250. So again, I'm going to create an alert for that particular level. Specifically, the 200-day moving average is where? The 200-day moving average is at $1.78. So let's just say alert me when the price is above $1.80. And this way I can stay on top of this situation as well. All right, everyone, I hope this is helpful in terms of how to find some interesting trading ideas, channel down patterns, falling wedge patterns, but also how to stay on top of the market for potential breakouts using our price alert tool as well. Thank you, everyone, and good luck trading. Keep in mind that this video is for informational purposes only. It's not meant to be financial advice, and do your own research.